Dr. T.R. Sharma, our DDG Crop Science, and he will be speaking on activities, aspirations, and action plan. As you know, the other day when we discussed about how we can make ICAR a more vibrant, revitalized, more efficient organization. So we have initiated this discussion. So today's the first presentation will be made by Dr. Sharma. And then on 17th, first of all, may I request all others to please keep your audio muted. And ICT section, please take care that all others are muted, except the speaker. So our whole exercise is how to make ICAR more vibrant, revitalized, more efficient, and how we will be able to generate more and more resources, and also to reduce the expenditure, which is otherwise not so much required. So in this series, today Dr. Sharma will be presenting for Crop Science Division what are the thoughts going on there, what are their initiatives, and what are their suggestions in this particular direction. Once the presentation of Dr. Sharma is over, then we shall take some time to discuss and also get your suggestions. In the meantime, if you have got any query, I shall request you to please write it in the chat box, because sometimes it becomes difficult to take each and every question. So please feel free to give your suggestions, your observations and comments in the chat box, but please be restricted only to the topic. Only to the topic. We should not be writing other than which is not related to the topic. This is one. Our second presentation on this series will be organized on 17th. So today is 14th of November. The second one will be on 17th of November at 4:30 p.m. And that talk will be given by Dr. S.N. Jha, who is our DDG Agricultural Engineering. So today we'll be listening from crop science perspective. And then on 17th, we'll be listening from agricultural engineering perspective. And then later on from all other assemblies also, one by one, we'll be getting their views. So once again, I welcome each and every one of you. And my special thanks to Dr. Sharma and his team for kindly agreeing to deliver the first presentation in this series on activities, aspirations, and action plan. So Dr. Sharma, welcome. And now I request you to please make the presentation. Over to Dr. Sharma, please.
My screen is visible?
Yes, Dr. Sharma, it is very much visible.
Okay, good morning, sir. Good morning to all. I would like to welcome you all to my presentations on activities, aspirations, and action plans. This presentation is the initiative of Honorable DG ICAR, who has initiated all these presentations on different crop science divisions. So first in the series, so I would like to first introduce you my division. You know, Crop Science Division is one of the largest divisions of ICAR, consisting of 28 institutes, having more than 2,000 scientists, and we have around 38 AICRPs, AINPs, and number of scientists working in AICRPs and AINPs are 1,601. So in total, we have more than 3,600 scientists working in different 62 ICR institutes and AICRPs and AINPs. At the headquarter levels, we have 5 ADGs, 5 principal scientists, 6 technical officers, 1 directors, and 2 undersecretaries. Now, as per the format given to us, I'm going to make my presentation as per the format. 3 products and their impacts during the last 3 years, that is the first topic. So you know, Crop Science Division is mainly involved in development of crop varieties resistant to different biotic and abiotic stresses. And this is the list of crop varieties we have produced during last 3 years. In 1920, we developed 60 varieties. In 2021, 85 varieties, and 21-22, 115 varieties. So in total, we developed 260 varieties in different crops, starting from rice, wheat, maize, barley, sorghum, millet, oilseed, pulses, and other crops. Then potential of these varieties and their impact, you know that we have Pusa Basmati 692, which was developed in 2020, and breeder seed during 2 years was 55 quintals, and area covered is 0.35 million hectares, which was licensed to 28 companies and generated 46 lakhs rupees in as a license money. In case of wheat, our 4 varieties are ruling throughout the country, and one of the varieties, DBW 187 Karan Vandana, which was released in 2019, and breeder seed during 2 years has gone to 3,407 quintals and covering around 20 million hectare areas. Similar to these other varieties of wheat like HD 3226, DBW 303, DBW 327s are predominantly grown varieties in the country. In case of mustard, our Pusa mustard 33, which is double low Indola quality type of varieties, is giving 27 quintal per hectare yield, and it is very huge demand. In sugarcane, we have a very significant variety CO0238 spread in 27.75 hectare areas in subtropical India, and it is covering most of the 90% area in subtropical India. In tobacco, FCV 3 high yielding FCV tobacco varieties occupied 74% of the FCV tobacco growing sector in southern light soils and 90% southern black soils in the country. Second type of technologies in which we are involved in crop science division is technologies for sustainable crop production. In 1920, we developed Pusa decomposers, and many of you are very well familiar that this was sprayed in a 4,20,000 acre areas, and crop burning reduced to 50.4% in Punjab and 63.4% in Haryana. In 2021, we developed novel insecticide wettable powder formulations of Heterorhabdopsis indica, which is a very important biological control agent for white grub and other soil pests. In 2021-22, Satpada rugicides is a potential entomopathogenic fungi which was developed as a biocontrol agent, and then mustard varieties which were spread to northeastern regions because of our intervention of different varieties of DRMR Bharatpur. We have rapeseed mustard production increased 0.624 million tons from 1415 to 11.75 metric tons in 2021 in case of rapeseed mustard in northeastern Indian states. Third types of technologies are like Pusa farms, sun fridge, establishment of powder bank, alternate energy light trap, and this is one of the most important trap and light trap generated Indian patent 357993 dated and commercialized through Fine Trap India Limited companies, which was sold to 176 countries. Innovative light trap technologies, farm implements developed and licensed, millet threshers, small tools, paddy threshers. These were crores of rupees have been generated because of commercialization of these particular tools in our different institutes of crop science division. And this last technology is soil moisture indicator licensed to 20 farms and sold 1,45,000 units for worth rupees 20 crores of rupees. The second segment of presentation is 12 most important and significant research publications, which I am giving here a list of 12 publications ranging from 20 to 15.3 NAS ratings, and these are the high impact publications we have generated at Crop Science Division of India. Then 3 achievements and their impacts during the last 3 years. One of the most important achievements is production of breeder seeds. And if we see the quantum and value of and quantity that potentially can be produced in seed chain based on breeder seed production, this is one of the examples I have included here. Breeder seed we generate from 1,399 varieties with more than 1 lakh quintals of around 109 crore rupees. If the same seed is 100% converted into foundation seeds, then it can generate 29.9 lakh quintals of foundation seeds, worth rupees 1,486 crore rupees. Then if the same foundation seed is 100% converted into certified seeds, then we can develop 1,563 lakh quintals of breeder seeds, which is costing more than 67,890 crores of Indian rupees. So you can see the impact of breeder seed production, which is going on in crop science division, how much it is impacting our seed production chains. Another important area which I covered here is impact and deployment of high yielding and climate resilient varieties on sustainability of food grain production. These two bars, if you see green and red bar here, one is the normal year we have production of crops, and then red one is the abnormal year. If you see in 2001 and 2 and 2002 and 3, 1 and 2 was normal year, the production was 212 million tons, which was reduced to 174.8 million tons in 2002, 2003, with 17.9% reduction. But then if you compare during these 20 years, then we changed all our varieties with climate resilient varieties, and most of the varieties are now resistant to biotic and abiotic stresses. And if you see the figure in 2021, which was the normal year, 3,310.74 million tons of food grain production which we produce, and in 2021, during even abnormal years, there was 1.6% increase in food grain production only because of the introduction of climate resilient varieties. The other four important interventions and their impact, which I would like to show here, is one of the most important intervention is development of basmati type of varieties. In 2021, India sold 30,000 crore rupees of basmati rice in the country, and 4.6 million tons of basmati rice was exported to different countries. In case of wheat, there was a quantum jump in wheat yield, all-time high 108.75 metric tons in 2021, which because of the intervention of majorly by 6 varieties, which I have given here in this particular slides. Similarly, in case of pulses, we created pulse revolutions. If you see figure in 14-15, there was only 17.15 pulse production in the country, because of the intervention of new varieties, seed hubs, and policies of the government, the yield production has increased to 25.58 metric tons in case of pulses, which led to pulse revolution in the country. The fourth intervention which we made during the past few years is the sugarcane varieties 0.0238, which was cultivated in 27.9 lakh hectare area, and the benefit to sugar mills is 23,547 crore, and benefit to the farmers is 43,468 crore. So these are the high impact varieties and interventions which were made by crop science divisions. One of the important examples which I would like to show here is the dedication of more than 35 varieties of different cultivars by Honorable Prime Minister of India in 2021, which includes varieties of quinoa, buckwheat, wing bean, fava bean, mustard, and likewise many varieties were developed, which was dedicated by Honorable Prime Minister of India to the country. Similarly, we developed 87 biofortified varieties which are nutritionally rich to either protein, lysine, tryptophan, vitamin A, vitamin C, anthocyanin, and many micronutrients and also proteins, And in last 1 year, we developed 14 new bio-40 varieties, which are playing very important role in national nutrition mission of the country. The second type of technologies which have really created impact is designed and developed in situ jute ratting tank based self-reliant farming, and the income of farmers was raised to 60,000 to 70,000 per hectare. They produced fine fibers of TDN1 and TDN2 type of grade. Then we designed and commercialized small farm implements at our CRISAF institutes, and these were sold to different parts of the countries and by different funds. Then we have developed Siahi Hull, in which 3,524 units were supplied worth rupees 3 crore rupees. Then there was a white grub management program in which we sold 1,564 units, which were supplied to different stakeholders worth rupees 10,000 crores of rupees. Then in reduction in yield losses and crop protection is playing a very important role. And during last 3 years, we cloned and characterized one of the very important genes for leaf rust resistance, LR80, which was for the first time in the world we cloned, which is playing very important role in conferring resistance to Puccinia triticina in India. Then information and communication technology based e-pest surveillance and advisory system implemented in 5,525 lakh hectares in 68 fields and horticulture crops across 3 states like Maharashtra, Haryana, and Punjab, resulting in yield increase and judicious use of pesticides. Then mass trapping technique of cotton pink bollworm in ICAR, CICR has developed a pheromone which extended release formulation evaluated on 4,400 hectares of farmers' field. The fourth technology which I would like to emphasize here is exploitation of genetic resources for their conservation and sustainable use for climate resilient food and nutritional security. You know, our National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources is the custodian of germplasm of the country. We exported 1,17,323 germplasm material to other countries. Total 493 trait-specific germplasm lines as donors have been registered with NVPZR. NVPZR National Gene Bank globally ranks second after USDA and held 4.59 lakhs accessions in the country. NVAR, our National Bureau of Agriculture Important Insect Resource, supplied 1,637 lakh live insects and 602 identification services provided to cater to the need of Indian entomological research. Our institute at NBM now acquired the status of International Depository Authority under Budapest Treaty, and this is one of the very significant achievement for the country as a whole, wherein our institute was recognized at international level. In case of teaching, our institute, our crop science division has been deemed to be University IRI, in which we have during these 3 years, if you see here, in Masters, 651 students were admitted, in MTech 46, and in PhD 818. And all these students are doing their degree at IRI New Delhi. Then now coming to the next part of the presentation is the 3 target products with their potential impact in next 3 years. What we have planned for the next 3 years and what type of product we are planning which can be developed during next 3 years are: number 1, trait-specific varietal development, conservation, and use of genetic and genomic resources during 23-24 to 25-26. We targeted to develop 182 varieties of rice, wheat, maize, sorghum, millet, oilseed, pulses, forage crops, and sugarcane and other crops during the coming 3 years. These varieties will be developed with specific traits to enhance specialty traits like enhanced nutritional and nutraceutical value, disease and insect resistance, drought, flood, heat, cold, salinity, nutrient use efficiencies, and water use efficiencies. Their likely impact would be on enhanced yield and quality for higher production, sustainable production due to deployment of climate resilient high yielding varieties and hybrids, nutri-rich varieties for alleviation of malnutrition, product profiles as per industry demand for enhancing export, and enhanced seed and varietal replacement rate. In this endeavor, we plan to do in situ and trans situ conservation of crop, wild, relatives, and indigenous plants. Then molecular diagnostic for quarantine pests, post-entry quarantine, and eco-friendly phytosanitary treatments will be developed. Then establishment of safety duplicate gene bank of NVPCR would be our another important target. In genomic resources, we intend to develop a patent on a gene OSVWA36, and also we are targeting to sequence the genome sequence of Casinus platycarpus, a species of pigeon pea during next 3 years. We also we will develop CRISPR-Cas9 vector cassettes with codon modified Cas9, so that we should have our own CRISPR-Cas9 cassette to edit the genes. Then development of new formulations of pesticides, biofertilizer, etc. We intend to develop new biocides, bioconsortia, microbial formulations to enhance IPM and water use efficiency by 5 to 15%, and nutrient use efficiency 5 to 15% by utilization of these biopesticide and biofertilizers. Biocontrol agents for crop health management, which may reduce 20% of the synthetic pesticide use, and the isolation and identification of sex pheromone and pheromones for soybean stem fly management would be our next target. In case of mechanization and digitization for enhancing system efficiency, we intend to develop dynamic dashboard for varietal and breeder seed information, which is a very important tool for the traceability of breeder seeds. We would develop AI-based mobile app to identify, monitor, and manage key pests of different crops. The development of forbearing models for tomato early blight and white fly, establishing national strategic crop health monitoring network. In case of implements, we would concentrate to develop on two-row disc type ratoon management device with and without stubble shaving attachments, sugarcane trash management machineries, tractor operated multi-purpose tool frame, and cleaner cum washer for jaggery, and also tractor drawn jute seeders will be developed during next 3 years. In case of teaching, we have targeted a huge changes because of the national new educational policies. We intend to start new programs like certificate course, PG diploma, and BTech as well as BSc agriculture, besides MSc, MTech, and PhD. In 2022-23, our target is to admit more than 1,052 scientists, 23-24, 1,252 scientists, and 24-25, 1,475. In this case, we are linking most of the institutes with IARI. The institutes names are given here. You can see like NIASM, Baramati, NIBSM, Raipur, CIA, Bhopal, IIHR, Bangalore, IIR, Jharkhand, IRI, Assam, NBPCR, New Delhi, IASRI, NIPV, and IAB. In collaboration of these institutions, we are going to extend our PG programs at different parts of the country. Then next target is 1 to 2 target products of the institutes in next 1 year. That was the, you can see here, for each institute we have decided and keep our goal on different targets. Like IRI New Delhi, we have development of 5 trait specific varieties of mandated crops, initiating the UG and diploma programs in agriculture. Similarly, in Indian Institute of Wheat and Barley Research, early shown biofortified wheat varieties with higher zinc, proteins, and also malt barley variety will be developed during next 1 year. IARA and Indian Institute of Rice Research, Hyderabad, genome edited rice lines of Samba Masuri will be developed with 25 to 30% higher yield. Similarly, in NRI Cuttack, rice variety with high yield, 8 to 9 tons per hectare, and biotic stresses. Likewise, all these targets are given to each institute. You can see here all over 28 institutes in the country as specific target for coming 1 year, which will be achieved by our institutes in the form of products and technologies in the coming year. Now coming to the next part of presentation, the recent innovative research initiatives which we have taken during these last 2 years. One of the most important initiatives we have taken is use of pre-breeding in crop for climate resilient sustainable agriculture to bring genes from wild species and related genera in the cultivated varieties. This pre-breeding program would be very, very important. It has already been started in most of the institute. Then use of new technology techniques and tools to enhance genetic gain and quality, particularly CRISPR-Cas9 genome-mediated editing for development of nutrient-dense and input-efficient crops. And in 2024, we have target to release few varieties by using genome editing approach. Market demand and profile-based breeding product development for domestic and international consumption, in situ conservation of land races and crop-wide relatives of field and horticulture crops, and integration of speed breeding for generation advancement and development of inbreds and hybrid varieties with higher genetic gains. Then partnering with industries and development of seed traceability system with DAW Institute. Availability and the budget which we have utilized and given to us during these past 3 years in 1920, 6,635 crores, 2021, 612 crore, and 2021-22, 615 crore, and we have utilized 94 to 98% of our budget during these last 3 years. Then initiative for resource generation and target amounts. We have given these 7 initiatives how we can use for resource generation, sale of seed, publications, and other products. Then technology commercialization, resource mobilization, collaborative research, enhanced public-private partnership, services like testing of pesticide residues, seeds, GMOs, etc. And then industry training, student research, and other activities, and international collaboration. We targeted to enhance our funding by 80 crore rupees by these new initiatives which are going to start. Then initiative to reduce expenditure and target amount. These 8 initiatives we have given here, for example, mechanization of farm operations, CCTV surveillances and strategic locations, installation of solar system, implementation of e-office, digital reporting, online meetings, centralized laboratories, outsourcing of high throughput services, outsourcing for vehicles, utilized services for trainees and students, and then use of digital technology for meetings, monitoring, reviews, and conferences, etc. By way of these initiatives, we target to reduce our expenditure by 20 crore rupees. Then proposed collaborations with private organizations. In these 6 areas, we have proposed a collaboration with private organizations. These are commercialization of varieties, hybrid, and their parental lines, commercialization of other technologies like biogens, biodecomposers, biopesticides, food products and equipments, etc., research collaborations, trainings on various areas of breeding, protection, production, ICAR, genetic resource management, biotechnology, etc. Then signing MOA with private universities for research and teaching, collaborations for testing, validation of products and technologies, etc. We would like to collaborate with private seed companies and private companies, PSUs, and other organizations. In this way, we would be generating more than 75 crore rupees during the coming few years. Then proposed modalities to integrate crop science with other disciplines, which is very, very important to network crop science division with other 7 divisions of ICAR. And one of the targets is to use, one of the area is development of improved package of practices, use of sensor in agriculture, precision agriculture, use of biofertilizer and biodecomposers along with natural resource management divisions. And then development of breeding platform, digitization of data, IoT, real-time dashboard for varieties, seed and other technologies with education division, particularly with ISRI. Then mechanization of agriculture, research operation and use of drones with our agriculture engineering department. Then animal science and fisheries division will be collaborated for evaluation of food and fodder palatability, quality and impact assessment. Then sharing of newly released varieties, seed for their demonstration and seed production with KVKs and support for subject matter trainings and seed productions. Then package of practices and varietal technology for farming system research involving all the divisions. The utilized land of institutes of animal science, NRM, horticulture should be spared for breeder seed production of newly released varieties. The general suggestions for all the institutes. These are the suggestions which we have made, 7 suggestions. One-time grant to more than 50 years old institutes, 100 crore rupees we need, and around 1,000 crore we need to uplift the activities and also equipments of Indian Agriculture Research Institutes. Then constraints of land, semi-urban areas where our institutes are situated, where we have constraints of non-availability of land for experimental and research trials. And budgetary constraints under grant in aid general for labor basis and research. Disaster-proof infrastructure for institutes lying in flood, cyclone-prone areas like NRI, Cuttack, Kraizef, Barakpur, DGR, Junagadh, Vipkas, Almora, and other institutes. More freedom should be given to the institute for utilization of funds for international trainings and postdoctoral research for the scientific staff. An inbuilt mechanism for funding support to newly joined scientists as seed grant for international trainings and initiation of research programs. This is one of the most important components which I would like to underline here. Then local bodies, taxes, and other state government levies, which we have to look into. Then challenges faced by the SMD and suggested solutions. These are 8-9 challenges I have listed here, like long adhocisms in institutes on directors, PCs, HOD, and HORs positions in recruitment. Infrastructure and equipment of many institutes are very old, and one-time grant of 2,000 crore is required. One-time grant to create conservation bank facilities at par with international standard at NBV, NBPGR, NBAR, and BIMAO. Sanction of scientific and RMP positions in NIBSAM Raipur, in IIB Ranchi, and IRI Jharkhand. Shrinking financial resources for research, education, and extension, except National Institute, a par of director and principal scientists, where head of the divisions are not available. These institutes be reported by concerned ADCs. Augmenting PG and PhD student research in ICAR Institute affiliated to IRI. Support for implementing National Education Policy by 2020 and for upgrading IRI to global university. Then international collaboration, scientific exchange and trainings, commodity-specific consortia development for participation of private sector in germplasm augmentation, maintenance, sharing, and utilization, sitting arrangement of ADGs and scientific staff. The possible solutions for these challenges are: number 1 is self-finance courses should be included for UG, PG, and PhD programs. Creation of IRI endowment fund. Then right to inventor, developing individuals, divisions for upscaling and commercialization for resource generation and utilization in research programs. Then charging of royalty from NSC, State Seed Corporation, and other public and big private organizations on actual basis on the data. Then general suggestions for the headquarters. The 6 suggestions we have made. Number 1 is ease of doing business concept for particularly reduction of compliance burdens, for approval of foreign visits, contract and collaborative research projects involving foreign funding, conducting of international conferences and seminars, foreign visits of the scientists and students, etc. Then appraisal of SMD should be mandatory for transfer posting. Special drive advertisement for IRI Assam, IRI Jharkhand, IISS Mau, NBIM Mau and NIBSM Raipur. Advertisement of remaining post of head of the divisions and joint directors, particularly at IRI New Delhi, IRI Assam, IRI Jharkhand, Vipkas Almora, IIV Ranchi, NIBSM Raipur, SBI Coimbatore. And unrelated circulars for providing information should be curtailed at headquarters levels, and vehicles should be provided to all the ADCs. Other suggestions or informations which is also asked from us, an integration of all office automation softwares, including ICAR, ERP, eOffice, PFMS, ARMS, Sparrow, PIMS, HYPM, EHRMS, FVMS, etc. need to be done. Exemption from GEM procurement for chemicals and equipment to avoid poor quality and non-availability in times. The vacancies of RMP, scientific, administrative, and technical posts need to be filled on priority basis. Technical help or support need to be made available to scientists as per the mandated ratio. Then financial and other administrative powers to the SMDs should be given. So with these words, now I would like to thank special thanks to Dr. D.K. Yadav, ADG Seeds and National Science Fund for providing information for these presentations, along with all ADCs like Dr. R.K. Singh, Sanjeev Gupta, Dr. S.C. Dubey, and all the directors of the Crop Science Institutes for providing information for these presentations. So with these words, I would like to thank you all. Thanks a lot for your presence and giving yours and sparing your time for this particular presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma, for making an excellent presentations. Excellent presentations, highlighting all the points which we discussed and whatever were expected. So it is perfectly on that line. Also, my congratulations to you and to all the institutes under your SMD for achieving so much in the form of developing crop varieties, whether climate resilient varieties, biofortified varieties, and so on. And also in the areas of natural resource management, plant protection, education, and all the areas. So once again, I congratulate each and every one of you, including all those institutes and scientists who have contributed for all these achievements. Friends, the purpose of this meeting, as I have already mentioned, similar kind of exercise, what Dr. Sharma has shown today, will be done by every SMD. And I request that every institute also should be doing similar kind of exercise for their institute, including achievements, including new initiatives, including resource generation options, administrative as well as financial aspects, each and every aspect what Dr. Sharma has presented today. And when in the institute level you collect all the information and make the presentation, I would request you to be very, very specific. Very, very specific. For example, what are your target activities in next 2-3 years? Who is going to be the lead scientist for that particular activity? And by which timeline that particular output is going to be delivered? So that somebody should be traceable to be identified and made responsible. As I said, the whole exercise is, if I have to summarize in one sentence, let us all be responsible scientists, responsible technical staff, responsible staff of ICAR. And that's why the specific activities with specific names and timelines are going to be very, very important. Dr. Sharma has also shown how they are planning to generate more and more resources. This is quite good. But Dr. Sharma, I would also request you to do a little bit more exercise, that how much of this proposed generation of fund is going to be the total percent of what is the total expenditure of the SMD. Is it, say, around 10%, 15%, 20%? And if you can also do a little bit of more exercise, how this can be improved. Because what I feel that crop science division is one of the divisions where the scope of generating resources, particularly fund and others, are more compared to some of the other SMDs. So here I would request you to again do a little bit more exercise and to suggest us how best this can be further improved. You have made several general suggestions which are very, very important. Each and every one of those are important. Let me tell you, some of the points can be easily addressed by us. And when we meet with all the DDGs, and we meet rather very frequently, we shall collect all these suggestions from every SMD and then try to implement whichever are very easily to be implemented. Very easily implementable ones will be done. You raised several times about these vacancy positions, which is of course a concern. You talked about advocacy and you also know that we are trying our best to place the people in position, what I mentioned in my presentation, to place the people in position as quickly as possible. And as for my assessment, probably in next 20 or 25 days, all the RMP positions will be filled up. And maybe in next 3-4 months or so, all the head of the divisions and also project coordinators and others will be also in position. So that's what we are expecting. Regarding new spaces, again, we are on the job, and I'm expecting to get some more spaces for our ADGs and also other scientists in headquarters and elsewhere. When our new ASRB building will be ready, and it is almost ready actually. So maybe in next 1 or 2 months or so, that space is going to be available for our scientists, ADGs, and also maybe 1 or 2 SMDs can also go there. Friends, the suggestion of providing seed money to our young scientists is of course important. I fully realize that. But what I would request our institutes actually, that you please initiate it based on, again, project based, not that each and every scientist you are just giving money. Again, you ask for the project, evaluate the projects, and then you decide whom to start with that one. And of course, if you have got your own suggestion to improve those projects, you please work with the young scientists so that some initial grant can be given to them. There are a few other things which Dr. Sharma has suggested. And as I said, all these issues we are collecting. And of course, in other DDG's presentations also, this will be made. Once these are ready, we shall have a meeting with all the DDGs as well as our administration and finance, sit together and discuss how best these suggestions can be internalized, can be redelegated, including APAR, including financial aspects and so on, so that we will be able to make what we say ease of doing business, or what we say more governance, less government, or something like that. One area, Dr. Sharma, which came in my mind, that in your presentation, of course, there is nothing wrong in it, but then let us try to find out about realigning various disciplines within one institute or one SMD, and how to report them. For example, you presented the achievements of NRM, achievements of plant protection, achievements of education, which are, of course, very significant. And we have been doing so far. But then when, for example, our DDG education will make the presentation, again, we will make the similar presentation. Because again, all the activities of IARI, whether it is MSc, PhD programs, new innovations, global university and everything, again, he will be making the presentation. So as you know that we have already established a committee which will go through all of this, how to realign. It is not that you are going to shift the SMDs. These are going to function as it is, but then for reporting purpose and to have a little bit more accountability, how best these disciplines can be realigned with the SMDs in the headquarters, so that the education activities would be reported and also accounted for in our education SMD. NRM activities will be reported and accounted for in NRM SMD. Engineering activities will be reported and accounted for in our agriculture engineering SMD, and so on. But of course, this is not going to be so easy. We are working on that, but I think there is a need of somehow making some kind of realignment in reporting format so that it will be more accountable, more responsible, and more presented in particular fora. So with these, some of my suggestions, now let us have some observations from our participants. But once again, Dr. Sharma, let me thank you for making an excellent presentation, an excellent beginning rather. And your presentation is going to be followed by other SMDs also, so that they can also include whatever you have presented and also the suggestions which I have given and also which are going to come up from our discussion now. Now it is open for a discussion. I request you to please raise your hand so that we'll be able to identify you. Or else if you want to write something giving a very specific suggestion, you can also write it in the chat box. So now it is open for discussion. You can please raise your hand and give your suggestion, but be very specific and very short in your observation. Anyone? Yes, IRA Joint Director Research.
Sir, good morning, sir. DD sir presented about the breeder seed and certified seed that are produced. So it is even at the 50% conversion rate, it is coming about 16,972 crores. So if we can charge some royalty on the final seed, about 1% or so on the final seed set, I think huge amount of money can be generated for IRA. So in this regard, maybe you can we need to make some policies, sir. Currently, we are
Right.
not. Thank you, sir.
Very good, Dr. Vishwanathan. Colleagues, let us congratulate Dr. Vishwanathan also, as he has newly joined as Joint Director Research at IRI. So thank you, Dr. Vishwanathan. Vishwanathan, you also please send maybe one or two bullets to Dr. Sharma, so that all these can be included when we go for.
Can I respond on this? Can I respond?
Dr. Saab, yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, it's a very important suggestion which Dr. Vishwanathan has made. We have already made a committee under the chairmanship of Director IRI. They are going to decide how we can charge from these companies and other individuals on certified seeds. So that probably their recommendations will come within few months, and then we will implement those recommendations with the approval of competent authority. Thank you very much.
Very good, Dr. Sharma. Can I go to IIRR Hyderabad?
Sir, thank you for an outstanding presentation. I have a small suggestion. Recently, we had IRR industry meet in which we showcased all our improved varieties, pre-breeding materials, and then promising breeding lines to industry. What the industry is interested to license also are not only the NVPGR registered material or released varieties or PPFRA registered varieties, but also some mapping populations and also promising pre-breeding materials or materials which are in semi-finished or finished stage. If through a policy decision, if institutes can be made competent to license these pre-breeding products or finished or semi-finished products, we can raise a lot more revenue for the institute, sir. This is my humble submission. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This is also part, sir. This is also part of the same committee, and they are looking after how to share different types of breeding materials, particularly mapping populations or pre-breeding materials, and what could be the cost of this material, and also exclusivity of the material. That also been dealt by the same committee. So it's a very comprehensive guidelines which we are going to develop for ICAR.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sundaram. Dr. Sundaram, why the auditorium is empty in your case?
Sir, they are there, sir, but we are not cameras, not focusing. We have about 60 scientists.
Fine. Okay. This is just a lighter one, because as it is the presentation of your SMD, so your scientists should be participating with full strength.
They are there, sir. All of them are here. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. May I request Dr. Rashbihari Bhar?
Yes, sir. Namaskar, sir. I am very enlightened, though I am a man of animal nutrition. But I have been given assigned with the work and challenging work in ICAR IVRI Kollani Center, Kollani, Nodia, West Bengal. Here I have been assigned. I was working in Northwest Himalayan region. In the last 5 years, I have been working at Kollani. I have been assigned with the responsibility that Dr. Bhor will develop an integrated agricultural farm and animal nutrition research at ICAR IVRI Kollani Center, Kollani, Nodia, West Bengal. So I have been given number of projects, particularly the service project demonstration of the integrated agricultural farming, crop-based crop and product of production. So I have seen that I am in urgent need of the persons, particularly those who are practically interested with missionary zeal, that doubling farmers' income on crop-based integrated agriculture. I would like to know the person in our region, particularly those who are working, so that we can get their help, and on people participatory mode and
Dr.
participating.
Dr. Bhar, you have to be very, very specific and short in your
Sir,
query.
Right, sir. Oh, I want to know the persons, those who are working on the same line, particularly on crop-based agriculture.
As I requested in the beginning, let us stick to the topic of today's presentation. Of course, you know people, who are working in that particular area. You can contact them. There are several in IRI also. There are several in NRI, Cuttack and other places. So please get in touch with them. Okay.
Sir, in this area, I would like to know, sir.
No, that's fine. Okay. Let us go to NIAP New Delhi.
Thank you, sir. This one, it's an excellent presentation by Dr. Sharma. But what I feel is that there is something which is lacking on the impact assessment of the technologies, because this is a very important area. It is not only the economic impact, but the social impact, environmental impact. So in that, your proposed collaborations, I think you should also highlight how you are going to collaborate with the institutes like us.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Birthel. Again, let us congratulate Dr. Birthel for assuming the charge of Director of NIAP. So, Dr. Saab, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, let us go to Kraijab, Barakpur. And friends, once your query is made, you please lower down your hand so that we can go to the next person.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, our DDG, for excellent presentation. I think everything has been covered, but again, the resource generation, there is another point. Suppose for commercial crops like jute, we are exporting now. Actually, export has increased like anything after COVID and plastic ban. So, on the export money, can we earn actually some cess? Because Institute or ICAR, I don't know it is getting or not, but country is earning a lot of money now. At least 3 times export has been increased in 3 years. So this is the points to be noted if it is possible, sir. Particularly the commercial crops, which is being exported.
Dr. Kar, there is a good suggestion. You please give maybe few lines to Dr. Sharma. Let me share with all of you, just 2 days back, I had a meeting with Secretary Expenditure, who decides about the budget and everything for ICAR. And then 2 points he highlighted. One is that every organization, including ICAR, should try their best to generate resources, which we are, the exercise which we are doing, and also try their best to reduce expenditure, which we are also trying to do. And also these kinds of policy issues, if there is any, where ICAR can request Government of India to include or to initiate this kind of cess or other revenues which is due for ICAR. So all these suggestions can be combined together and we will be in a position to put before the competent authorities so that these kinds of decisions can be taken. So I should request Dr. Kar to make a very strong justification for this one so that it could be presented to the higher authorities. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Dr. Kar. Any other? Yes, Dr. Mohanty.
Yeah, very good morning, sir. And DDG Crop Science made an excellent presentation. It is right after the Secretary DR himself presented, gave an excellent presentation. It is followed up by the Crop Science Division. Several issues have been actually flagged up. It is division specific and it is actually vision integrating things. ICAR's global outreach. Many things have been put that way. So it is really good and it has made people very enthusiastic. Like it is a platform, you to see the screen. It looks really people are energized and they call for vitalization, vitalizing to come up forward. So many things people are enthusiastic and I think the purpose of these presentations is well met. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Mohanty. Any other comment, observation, suggestion?
Sir, may I talk BP Bhatt, sir, from NRM Division?
Yes, Dr. Bhatt, please.
Sir, it was an excellent presentation as usual. We used to hear Dr. Sharma sir. Small, it's not related to crop science alone, but then, sir, somehow I feel that the synergy across the SMDs, we need to have this synergy because many of the institutions, they are working on multi-commodity and I mean on the different aspects, be it the NRM division or a crop research division, but then that compilation and collecting that all such information across the SMDs, we need to have good synergy across the SMDs. That's what is my submission, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bhatt. This is excellent suggestion, and that's what I was also discussing, that how we will be able to realign various disciplines, their cross-cutting nature and all those kinds of things. Already a committee has been established, so now I shall request that committee to expedite so that a good report can be obtained, and we shall try to implement some of these suggestions. Thank you, Dr. Bhatt, again. May I request Dr. S.S. Sindhu? Dr. Sindhu, can you hear me?
So this is me.
Dr. Sindhu, you are not audible. In the meantime, let us go to PME CTCRI. Yes, CTCRI. No, there is again some issue. CII Bhopal.
He's attending.
Yes, CII Bhopal. CII Bhopal, can you hear me? No, I think still there is some internet issue that side or this side. I do not know. Let us now listen Dr. Tripathi.
Thank you, sir. This is not a comment, but it is a compliment to Dr. Sharma because he is the first presenter and he has really covered all the 15 slide template that we have given to him. And perhaps we have all other 7 SMDs are going to work accordingly. As from the suggestion that you have given, we have to again add those suggestions also in your next slide. So thank you very much, Dr. Sharma, for a very nice presentation and opening batsman for SMD. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tripathi. Sharma साहब ने आपके लिए एक चैलेंज छोड़ दिया है. So now you have to perform better and better than Dr. Sharma. Yeah. Good. But the opening is really excellent.
Yeah, very excellent.
Okay, any other? CIE Bhopal?
Good morning, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, very much. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sir. First of all, I compliment DDG Crop Science for giving emphasis on engineering technology also. And a lot of good work has been done by their institutes. I have question related to rotary disc drill.
Okay. Yes, Dr. Mehta, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think it may be a split drill bill with this type of opener, or it's something else.
Dr. Mehta, it is not very clear. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, one rotary disc drill has been developed under crop science division.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a slit drill with this type of opener, which has already been developed and commercialized by our Eclipse Center located at PIU Ludhiana, or is it something else? I could not get that.
I don't know whether, Dr. Sharma, is it from IRA Engineering?
No. Indian Institute of Wheat and Barley Research, Karnal. If Dr. GP Singh
Okay.
is around, he can intervene.
Yes, Dr. GP Singh, if you're here, can you respond to this? ICT, can you please?
Yeah, I'm
Can you
audible.
mute?
It is not a scripted drill. It's a
ICT, can you please mute others who are not speaking? Dr. A Srinivas, KVK, please mute yourself.
Is
ICT, please take care that all others who are not speaking are muted. Yes, Dr. GP Singh ji, bataiye.
scripted drill, sir. It's not a strict drill. It's different mechanism. It's a disc system which is not tilling the soil. It's a zero till drill.
Okay, Dr. Mehta, please get some more information from Dr. GP Singh or from our Karnal Institute. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Can we move to NIPB?
Hello, sir. I'm audible.
Yes, please.
Good morning, sir. That's an excellent. Hello.
जी बताइए ससरी साहब बताइए.
It's an excellent presentation by Dr. T.R. Sharma. Two things specifically I will tell. When you share the varieties to different private company, you need to have increased money recovered from them. Number one. And number two, in future, if you think about the future 10-20 years, then we should have IPR protected genes database. IPR protected genes. One repository should be there in ICAR. Just feel I should emphasize on. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sasni. Thank you very much. Dr. Sharma, would you like to comment on this one? And also there are some suggestions in the chat box. So if you can go through, and if you think that
I have not seen chat box, but I will go through these. And
okay. Sure.
But what Dr. Sasne is saying, databases are important to be developed, and that's the responsibility of institute which he is heading, and Indian Institute of Agriculture Biotechnology to develop these databases, and then take care of IPR of genes and promoters which they are developing.
Right. Okay, friends. I cannot see any more hand raised for any other suggestion. And it is also going to be 11 o'clock. So it is perfect time to conclude this discussion. So thank you once again, Dr. Sharma and all of you for giving so valuable suggestions. And of course, we expect similar kind of suggestions and enthusiasm in the following presentations. The next one is going to be on 17th of this month at 4:30. A notification to this effect will be given to all of you. Before we conclude, just one suggestion to all the persons who are joining online, which we call as that online ethics. That is, you please keep yourself muted if you are not going to make any suggestion, because it certainly disturbs the speaker and also the whole proceedings of the meeting. So this is number one suggestion to each and every one of you. And number two suggestion is, many of you, your audio is muted, but when the lecture is going on, your video is on and you are doing something else, not listening to the lecture. That again disrupts, because everybody is watching you. So my request is, if you have to do something urgent, say signing a file or doing something else, please mute your video also, so that your activities and all those things should not be disrupting the speaker or taking away the attention of other persons who are in this meeting. And of course, few other online ethics. Why I'm saying this? Because we are going to have several presentations, very important presentations rather. These are not as usual presentations, my friends. These are going to be presentations which will decide how we are going to do business. Several new ideas are coming. Several new policy suggestions are also coming. Several new initiatives we are going to discuss. So let us all participate with our all seriousness and give your suggestion. We are noting each and every one of these, but my request at the end will be, whosoever has made suggestions, whosoever has put their suggestions in the chat box, you please send a note, maybe 1 or 2 bullets to Dr. Sharma, so that we will be able to compile all of this in one place and then take action on each and every one of this. So with this, once again, I thank Dr. Sharma and his whole team, and also all the institutes under SMD Crop Science for making such brilliant achievements and also making such brilliant presentation. Thank you very much. See you on 17th at 4:30. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Kindly check the mic, particularly for that.